What is up, guys, and welcome back to Daily Drives. Now, today we find ourselves on a motorcycle. Now, the reason for this is that myself and Osama would like to venture into the world of two wheels rather than four. The only problem with that is that myself and Osama both don't know how to ride a motorcycle. So Harley Davidson have kindly given us this contraption so we can have a little bit of a talk about what the whole Harley thing is about. So Harley Davidson was founded in 1901 by William Harvey and Arthur Davidson. Now they ended up starting off the Harley Davidson company, so to speak, with the Model Zero, which was basically a belt-driven bicycle that could go just slightly faster than your average bicycle. Now this changed when the third individual came, and they actually ended up building their head office in Milwaukee, which is there till this day. And that's when the true work of how engines that we know of today in Harley Davidsons all started. So the three brothers combined all their brains together and they were developing engines left, right, and center. Now some worked, some didn't. However, they did create the 45-degree V-twin model, which was actually developed in 1909. Now this is the classic sound of blop, 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 of Harley Davidson noise that we learn and hear today. Now, in addition to Harley Davidson spending a lot of time developing engines, what they were also doing was trying to, as much as possible, help servicemen. So they actually donated or gave some of the police, some of the fire brigade, some of the ambulances, their motorcycles. And even in the First and Second World War, they stopped production completely and actually gave the military a bunch of motorcycles.
The whole machine is overhauled once a week. In this way, the student learns how to care for the machine on which his life may one day depend.
Now these motorcycles ended up serving throughout the war, being beaten up and trashed left, right, and center. But when the wars ended, some of these bikes were actually brought back from Europe by these soldiers. When that did happen, these soldiers decided to customize their bikes and, try and change them up and build them in their own style, which is where the word chopped derived from. Chopping your bike was basically another word in our language for customizing a bike. And this turned into Harley Davidson as we know it today, with its clans, with its groups, and the ultimate in American freedom. The one thing that I did feel and have discussed with other people is the whole idea and conception of Harley Davidson bikers, these big tattooed leather-wearing individuals, might be a little bit intimidating. Now, what this contraption allows you to do is to actually, in a safe environment, try out your bike, or a bike that you're possibly interested in purchasing. Now, rather than going to a dealership, hopping onto a motorcycle and taking it for a spin with no training or knowledge of what it is you're doing, is obviously not very smart. So the guys at Harley Davidson will provide you this, run you through the basic parameters on how to operate your bike. And I think it's actually a very smart way to also encourage people to basically jump on and see if it's something that they're interested in. Once you master the idea of being able to change gear, you're pretty much, off to the races. So to get this bike in motion is actually not as difficult as I thought, although I did spend 20 minutes trying to find neutral, which it is actually in. Now, first gear is down, and then subsequently second, third, fourth, and fifth is up. So the moment I hold in the clutch and I go into first gear, after that everything I do is upwards. So, you do kind of get used to that eventually, I guess, but it is very confusing. And then once you're downshifting, which is the same exact thing, and you reach first gear, you need to just click it halfway through to push it back into neutral. I'm now gonna give you a little bit of a run now, which is 4 steps into starting up the bike, which is ignition, and then you ultimately hold the clutch in place. Brakes, not really that necessary because you're not gonna go anywhere because you're locked in. Fuel, and fire away.
Get your motor running. Head out on the highway. looking for adventure in whatever comes our way. Yeah, darling, go make it happen. Take the world in a loving embrace. Fire all of your guns at once and explode into space. I like smoking lightning.
Well guys, thank you very much for watching. I'm just going to continue learning and getting my head around this particular machine. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. We're not sure if we're going to do many more bikes in the future, but we plan to. And don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Now I'm going to take a hypothetical ride. Take care.